Hi, thank you for holding. Are you still there?
Thank you, yeah.
Just one quick question. May I have the location you're calling from? Are you calling from within the United States or from
No,
another
I'm from the
country?
UK.
Okay, so if you need to speak to an elder, unfortunately I can't connect you to anyone here. You'd have to call the Britain branch office.
All right, let me just
there.
say what I'm going to say. It's extremely important, and then you can pass it on. Would you do that?
Fair enough, yeah.
Well, just quote the scripture, Proverbs 18:13. It says, "Spouting off before hearing the facts is both shameful and foolish." Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yep. If you look at Jeremiah 6 verse 1, it says, "Take shelter, O sons of Benjamin, away from Jerusalem. Blow the horn into Koa. Light a fire signal over Beth Hasherem, for calamity loomed from the north, a great disaster." Now, there's a town in there called Beth Hasherem. Beth, Haccherem. Beth Hashe is my daughter's name. It's the only modern day person that's mentioned in the Bible. In fact, I do the Bible code. I'm the world's best Bible code expert. And the amazing thing in that, what those 4 lines in those verses, Beth, every 12 letters is encoded, and my daughter's name now is called Reed, R-E-I-D, and that is encoded every 51 letters, and it ends up in the last disaster, where the D is in disaster. So Beth Reed is encoded, which establishes without any doubt that scripture is talking about my daughter Bethany. Now, you know Malachi 4 verse 5? Yeah?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah. Malachi 4:5 says, "I will send my prophet Elijah before the great inspiring day of the Lord." Right? And it says he's the messenger in Malachi chapter 3. I am the messenger. Right? And I've come to cleanse the temple, Jehovah's Witnesses. Right? And I've got so much evidence. If you look at my Facebook page, James Hashe, HACCHE, and my YouTube channel, Jehovah Hashe, you will have miracles. In fact, one happened at the Kingdom Hall, and John Dunlop and Paul Tucker were witness to it. Basically, I was sitting at the back and I wanted to talk to the elders. So he says, "Oh, just get Paul Tucker to John Dunlop." And we went in the back room, and basically the blinds were down. You know the tall windows that you have in the back room? Yeah?
I'm unfamiliar with how that building is laid out.
You could hear the hum of, the brothers and sisters talking. It's probably about 70 or 80 people. It was quite loud. Do you know what I mean? I was speaking to the elders no more than 5 minutes, and then suddenly, the brothers and sisters stopped talking. I says to John and Paul, I says, "Hang on a minute." I says, "How come they stopped talking? What's going on?" I went straight out the door. The elders followed me, and the congregation had gone. The brothers and sisters had vanished. And that's 2 witnesses. They didn't know what to say, the elders. I kept questioning them on it, but they were silent. Because that Kingdom Hall at Birchwood is Jehovah's temple at Jerusalem. In fact, 2.9 miles away is a hamlet in Skellingcourt called Jerusalem. And it's the only place in the UK called Jerusalem. And if you measure the Temple Mount in Israel to the Golden Gates, it's 2.3 miles. If you measure the Kingdom Hall, there's in Skellingthorpe at Jerusalem, there is a Golden Gates at Jerusalem. And if you measure from the Kingdom Hall, it's 2.3 miles the same. So I've got so many miracles. In fact, when I was in hospital, the mental hospital, I've got sections 10 times because I was saying I was Son of God. I've been on a CTO injection, forced medication for 7 years. And I will not shut up, and I will not establish. My love for Jehovah's Witnesses is so great that I'm going to rescue them. In fact, if you don't do anything about it and start stocking up on food and bottled water enough for 2 or 3 years, you're going to go under. You know, Joseph, when he established, when the famine came, you know the dream about the cows and the ears of wheat?
Yes, I'm familiar
Well,
with it.
basically, he had 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of not. He collected it. I've got to take over the Watchtower as Elijah and lead God's people, God's prophet. I'm a prophet. This is the thing with the governing body. What credentials do they have? I'm not having a go. I'm just telling the truth. What credentials do they have, like Moses and Joshua and all the leaders in the Bible of God's people? Saying that you're God's channel of communication doesn't make it. Anybody can say that. The Mormon church leaders say, you've got to have credentials. I've got the credentials. In fact, when I was in hospital, there was a lad there called Daniel. The hospital was called Peter Hodgkinson Centre, and we got moved to the new £25 million ward. And guess what it was called? Ellis Ward, which is another name for Elijah. In there was a staff member called Daniel Lowe, right? And that means lion, as in lion in the Daniel in the lion's den. And he told me he was the prophet Daniel. I says, how did you get it? It doesn't surprise me with the miracles I have going on, the kingdom hall and everything, right? I said, how did you get it? He says, I just woke up and found myself in a modern world with mobile phones. He says, what the hell's going on? So he claims to be Daniel. There was another, there's another lady called Sophie Anderson, and she said she told me at the dinner place where we was having a dinner, she told me she was a Egyptian princess. I thought, oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. So I sat down, I got straight up. I said, you wasn't the princess that Pharaoh's daughter who came and looked after Moses and found him in the reed bed? She says, yes, I was. Right, so that's another one. Another another patient, which you could put it down to mental illness, but I don't. She claimed to be Florence Nightingale. Another nurse who was very pretty, one of the nurses on clinic, she said to me, I'm a supernatural walking angel. So Jehovah's Angels are here. Daniel's here. King David's here, I know for a fact, because David Tyranny, who was one of the nurses, he didn't half look like King David. Little squat. He wasn't very big. About 45, 40. And basically he said, what did he say to me? He said, he's still listening? Hello?
Yes.
Right. He said to me, what did he say? Yeah, he said to me, he said, what? No, I was on that go. Oh yeah, and then one of the doctors were called, my doctor, black doctor, was called Rosemary Muhammad Ali. And I was thinking to myself, she can't be a reincarnation of Muhammad Ali. So I asked her, I says, you're not the boxer Muhammad Ali, are you? She says, yes, I am. So what now this scripture, you know in Hosea chapter 3 verse 4, look at this scripture, because it says, for the Israelites will live many days without a king, that's Jehovah's Witnesses, or prince, without sacrifice or sacred stones, without ephod or house gods. Afterward, the Israelites will return and seek the Lord, or Jehovah, it says in the New World, and their God, and David their king. They will come trembling to the Lord and to his blessings in the last days. When are the last days? Now. So King David's coming back. You don't think Jehovah's going to wait for the resurrection day until paradise to bring the most established, well-trusted Daniel's back, King David's back? No doubt there's other faithful men are here now, ready to take leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses. This mustn't get to the governing body. The Watchtower will go down on the 3rd of August 2025. That's what you've got to establish, and all your people at Bethel. Right, you don't tell the governing body, right? And the thing is, on the 3rd of, that's Tisha B'Av. Both temples were destroyed on the 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av. That's the 3rd of August 2025. And you know, I'll just get it up. Hang on. Are you still listening?
Yes, and I do thank you for your call, but unfortunately, there's nothing I can do.
Right, let me just read this.
If you need something, please contact the local Britain branch office of Jehovah's Witnesses.
You're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Further. It says verse 12, and
thank you for your call, sir. Have a good day.
Right, I've got you recorded, and I'll come after you.
you.